When a woman loses interest after getting what she wants, most men blame themselves without understanding the deeper psychological mechanisms behind her behavior. Women are highly responsive to emotional momentum, and once that momentum stops, their interest naturally declines unless the man maintains his masculine presence. In the early stages, she's attracted to the mystery, challenge, and unpredictability you naturally show before you become emotionally invested. Once she senses you're fully available, predictable, and emotionally dependent, her subconscious begins shifting away from the excitement that initially attracted her. Women crave emotional stimulation, and when you stop providing that spark, their interest fades, even if they genuinely liked you before. Many men unintentionally suffocate the dynamic by chasing harder after intimacy, thinking more attention strengthens attraction when it usually weakens it. The moment she feels you need her validation to feel valuable, her natural respect for your masculine energy starts collapsing quietly. Women are drawn to men who move with purpose, not men who make her the center of their emotional world prematurely. Her interest drops because he shifted from being a man on a mission to a man waiting for her approval. Attraction fades when you abandon the qualities that made you magnetic in the first place, usually without realizing your behavior has changed. Women instinctively test men to confirm they remain grounded, independent, and confident even after emotional or physical intimacy occurs. When you react emotionally to these subtle tests, she instantly senses a weakness that reverses her attraction on a subconscious level. Many men fail these tests by over-explaining themselves, becoming defensive, or showing insecurity instead of remaining calm and self. Women lose interest when your emotional stability collapses, because they associate stability with long-term safety and masculine strength. Her interest often depended on your ability to maintain boundaries, and the moment you drop them, she unconsciously pulls away. Boundaries create polarity, and once those boundaries disappear, the masculine-feminine dynamic becomes unbalanced and less exciting. When you stop leading the relationship confidently, she feels forced to take the masculine role, which always kills attraction fast. She loses interest because she senses you losing yourself in the relationship instead of maintaining individuality and self. A woman's desire thrives when she feels inspired or challenged, not when she feels responsible for managing her partner's emotions. Men often switch from confident leaders to emotional chasers once they feel secure, triggering her instinct to withdraw instantly. A woman wants to feel like she's joining a man's purpose, not becoming the purpose itself, because that role suffocates her. If she gets what she wants to easily, she assumes the relationship lacks depth, challenge, and emotional strength necessary for long-term interest. Effortless achievement rarely feels valuable, and women subconsciously value men more when they must earn deeper access to their world. Many men misinterpret early female enthusiasm as a signal to accelerate commitment, unintentionally overwhelming her emotional rhythm. Women lose interest when you stop embodying masculine mystery, which naturally draws them in through subtle unpredictability and strength. The uncertainty isn't manipulative. It's the natural state of a man focused on his life, rather than constant reassurance. When she senses you abandoning your goals or passions for her attention, her attraction diminishes faster than you expect. Women admire men who stay disciplined, grounded, and focused regardless of romantic progression or emotional intimacy. Attraction drops when you rely on her for emotional regulation, instead of providing direction, stability, and calm. Masculine presence. She loses interest because you stopped being the man she admired and started becoming someone seeking her validation. Women observe men's smallest behavioral shifts, and any sign of neediness signals a lack of internal strength that repels them. Men unknowingly create emotional dependence by texting excessively, over-planning, and removing space essential for feminine desire. Women require emotional oxygen, and overcrowding her energy suffocates her natural attraction, making withdrawal inevitable. When you remove the chase entirely, you also remove the emotional tension required for romantic excitement and female desire. She loses interest because you assume consistency guarantees attraction. But attraction must be continuously maintained, not assumed. Masculine consistency means emotional stability, not constant communication or exaggerated demonstrations of affection. When she senses you over-investing while getting less in return, she feels internally pressured and begins disconnecting emotionally. Women withdraw when the relational energy becomes unbalanced, because imbalance makes them feel responsible for maintaining attraction. A man who keeps his self-respect intact creates harmony, but one who abandons it destroys the polarity necessary for desire. She loses interest when she feels she no longer has to grow or evolve to keep your attention or admiration. When everything becomes easy, predictable, and guaranteed, her subconscious shifts away from emotional engagement and into passive detachment. Many men mistake her fading interest as moodiness, rather than recognizing it as a reaction to the changing masculine dynamic. Women are incredibly perceptive to energetic shifts, even ones men don't consciously notice happening within themselves. The more you chase her emotional closeness, the more she seeks distance to re-establish the polarity she once felt. Women value men who maintain self-control and inner strength regardless of relational changes or emotional intensity. Her interest fades when you abandon your internal boundaries to keep her satisfied or emotionally comfortable. Women lose attraction when a man sacrifices his standards to avoid conflict or secure approval. She wants a partner who stands firm, not someone who bends under emotional pressure or fear of losing her. When you stop challenging her intellectually and emotionally, she begins associating the relationship with boredom and stagnation. Women crave a dynamic experience, not a repetitive routine that feels like emotional autopilot. Her interest fades when she senses you trying harder than necessary, signaling insecurity and emotional dependency. Women naturally mirror masculine energy, and when your energy weakens, her attraction mirrors that decline. She loses interest when you make the relationship predictable, removing the emotional rhythm she subconsciously craves. Women desire a man who can maintain presence under pressure, because presence reflects strong internal grounding. Attraction erodes when you react emotionally instead of observing situations with calm, confidence, and mature detachment. Women withdraw when they feel their partner depends on them for purpose, direction, or emotional stability. Her interest fades because emotional overinvestment signals a lack of independence and masculine drive. Women want to feel chosen, not needed, because neediness destroys the sense of excitement and admiration they require. When you stop leading, she stops following, and the relationship dynamic collapses under emotional imbalance. Women lose interest when your masculine discipline weakens, and you begin prioritizing comfort over growth or improvement. She disconnects when you seek reassurance instead of creating security through action, direction, and emotional composure. Women trust men who trust themselves, and lose interest in men who seek permission, validation, or constant emotional reassurance. Her withdrawal is not random. It's a response to losing the masculine presence that initially attracted her deeply. Women respect men who remain consistent in purpose, but emotionally unpredictable in a confident and grounded manner. Attraction fades when a man becomes overly transparent, removing the mystery that sparks feminine curiosity and engagement. Women lose interest after getting what they want because the man often stops expressing masculine strength and emotional stability. When she notices the loss of challenge, excitement, and masculine energy, she begins emotionally detaching even without clear reasons. She withdraws because your energy changed, not because she changed. And recognizing this is essential for preventing future patterns. Women crave emotional polarity, and when polarity disappears, their desire naturally fades until the dynamic resets or collapses fully. Her loss of interest is a reaction to the environment you create, proving attraction is built through continuous behavior, not luck. Women stay engaged when a man remains aligned with his mission, identity, and unwavering self-worth, despite romantic circumstances. Her interest lasts when your presence remains strong, your boundaries remain firm, and your energy remains masculine and unshakable.